This is the Real Life Alchemy podcast with your host, Sarah Linhares. Please join me once a week for deep chats and incredible stories about real life alchemy, transformation, creativity, consciousness, and the future. I believe we are living through the greatest transformation in the history of humanity. We are powerful creators of our reality. I believe in unity through diversity. We are each unique facets of a miraculous diamond. Each one of us has a specific role to play in this theater we call life. I believe that we are here to discover what our unique role is. And once we know why we are here, we can truly embrace our brilliance, exploring, expressing, and embodying what makes each one of us important. Everything we do matters. I believe we are here to shine brightly, and when we shine brightly, we encourage others to do the same. There is room for all of us to be abundant and magnanimous. I believe in our divinity, our humanity, and in our incredible unknown future. I believe we can transform things for the better. It is time to be the change we want to see in the world. Hey guys, Sarah Linhares is here with you for the very first time ever with my brand new creation, a labor of love, a desire, a dream I have had for ages. Welcome to this very intimate podcast that I will be bringing to you each week, and will be sharing thoughts, ideas, dreams, concepts, visions, stories, and conversations with interesting people where we will explore what it means to be a human. What is this thing we call consciousness? What is transformation and creativity? And what can we create in the future together? This podcast is part of my deep desire to share knowledge and to be of service to the collective, to bring ideas and thoughts that I believe are important to the people, to share what I have learned along this incredible journey on earth. Since a very young age, I have had a desire to know the universe, to know the deeper reason why we are here, and to deeply know myself. So my entire life's journey has been as a student of the universe, constantly learning, growing, expanding, searching, seeking for more knowledge, for science, for philosophies, for thoughts, for brilliant visions of a world that I hope we can live in. And so this is truly made with love and made with the intention of being of service and sharing what I have to offer with the world. And I want to remind you that you are the master of your reality. And so whatever is said on this platform, whatever is shared, is obviously up to you to interpret if it makes sense for you. You can vibe with what I'm saying or not. You are the creator of your reality. So if you are feeling these thoughts and subjects and passions that I have, then I invite you to join me each week. And I have a deep desire to facilitate, assist, and be a part of this incredible transformation that is taking place on earth right now. I am here as one of the many, many, many who want to expand and assist in facilitating others, expanding of consciousness. So consciousness, transformation, and creativity, creating our world, are all deep, passionate subjects for me. Real life alchemy. So what does that even mean? The reason this title came into my reality was, of course, I love the concept of alchemy. Alchemy being transmuting, transforming something to another state. So in the past, the knowledge was alchemists or people with a certain knowledge or mystical, mysterious, mystery school training were said to be able to transform lead into gold. We hear stories of alchemy throughout time. Many of our ancient myths and parables and stories talk of alchemy. For example, Jesus Christ was said to transform water into wine. So transformation is a theme that we have seen in so many fables and stories. But what I have come to understand about alchemy is that everything is alchemy. I believe alchemy exists in every moment. In each moment, we have the potential to transform from one state to another. And I am speaking about thought alchemy. When you change your mind, you are alchemizing, you are transmuting something into a new version. When you forgive someone, you are transmuting pain into love. When you are getting in shape after you've let your body go because you've had a rough period of time, or you've been smoking too many cigarettes or drinking too much alcohol, and you transmute your body into a more fit, more sleek, more healthy, we could say more healthy body. That is alchemy. So I believe alchemy is happening on all levels all the time. And I love the concept of doing alchemy for real, like real life. Really, let's make our lives, let's create, let's transmute, let us transform into the best version. And when I say transform into the best version, I want to be clear that I do not want to negate anything that is right now, because in every moment, the more that we accept what is, the more joy, the more bliss, the more present we can be, the less resistance we can have to our lives and our expression and what we are actually here to do. So this is the theme of the show, Real Life Alchemy. And my desire is to really explore these themes, share them with you each week, and have some guests on the show to talk about these themes and to talk to people that are doing some incredible things in the world. I think we have never before seen such an enormous amount of conscious beings on planet Earth. I believe this is the most conscious we have ever been in the history of humanity. I mean, in terms of the numbers, I think we have had a radical shift on Earth since 2020, of course, because we had this massive collective awakening. And when we had 2020 hit, we were all forced to go within. We were forced, rather violently, to look at our lives and rethink how we exist, how we live, and how we operate in the world. The people that are in our lives, where we live, what we do as work. Are we satisfied? Are we truly living the life that we wanted to live? Because as humans, we have this very simplistic way of falling into a comfort zone where we will literally repeat something simply because it's habitual, not because it's giving us an enormous amount of pleasure, but because we're comfortable. And in fact, we can even get comfortable in discomfort. We can get comfortable in misery. We can get comfortable in just about anything. It's incredible. So when we had this big radical shift in the world, in the exterior world, when we were forced to slow down and reevaluate, reassess, I think we began to see a very deep unveiling of what had been brewing underneath the surface, which was a desire for something more. So my entire life's journey has been that searching for something more, that understanding, who am I? Who am I truly? What am I doing here? And what do I need to understand? Do I need to experience? So alchemy, real life alchemy, is a deep part of my everyday reality. Now, let me just share a little bit about myself so that you can know who is the voice behind this show. My name is Sarah Linhares. I am a Canadian, Madeiran Portuguese being, woman, and I live on the subtropical island of Madeira, island Portugal. I've lived here for the last 10 years, and I am an artist, a natural mystic, and an energy guide. So let me break that down for you. As an artist, I am a singer, a songwriter, a composer, a producer, DJ, and I am also a performer. I dance, so I use my body in my performance, and I also am a writer. And I am also a speaker, a public speaker. I'm a communicator. So I would say I'm a divine entertainer. I am here to transmute emotions into art. I use creation as alchemy. As an artist, I use deep pain, suffering, and emotion to create something beautiful. So I love the idea of taking something that's not simple, but something important to acknowledge, and then transmuting it, transforming it into something that can be relatable, that maybe my song could touch your heart because you've also had the same experience. So writing music, singing is one of the ways that I express my divinity as well. It's how I channel through me. I allow myself to be an instrument for the divine. Because when I'm writing a song, when I'm creating music, when I'm performing, I am literally an instrument from beyond. I am myself, but I'm also more than that. I'm able to transmit an emotion, a feeling, a concept on stage or on a recorded piece of music that is something that's not only for myself, of course it's for myself and I love it, it's a passion of mine, but it's to be shared, it's to be experienced with others. And everything that I create is with the desire to add value to the world. So whatever I'm expressing, I know that someone somewhere is also feeling, has been through that. So that's my desire with music and art and performance, is to really be an ally, be a supporter of humanity. And I like to look at the things that other people might not want to, because that's part of who I am. I like to dive deep into the intensity. I like the intense experience, bringing intense revelation, intense knowledge. So that's my artistic side. I love writing as well. I wrote my first book when I was actually 11 years old. I hand wrote a book with a pencil. I wrote the entire book with pencil, and I still have that book. When I look back at it now, it's not the best writing. I was 11, but the fact that I wanted to write a book, I had a story, and I took the time and effort to plan and write an entire story. It's beautiful. A couple of people in my life have seen this book. Maybe one day I'll share it with the world. But the fact was that started my desire to be a writer. So that's my artistic side, which is a huge part of who I am. And now let's look at the natural mystic. So what is a natural mystic? This term I found or discovered from the Bob Marley song, Natural Mystic. There's a natural mystic blowing through the air. If you listen closely now, you may hear. It could be the first trumpet, might as well be the last. Many more will have to suffer, many more will have to die, and don't ask me why. They say things are not the way they used to be. I won't tell no lies, one and all got to face reality now. Yeah, that's just a little taste of one of my favorite Bob Marley songs, Natural Mystic, which I really deeply resonate with. It has this very mysterious, mystical quality to the song. It's sensual, it's sexy. It's like something's blowing through the air that cannot be seen with the physical sight. It's an energy, it's a knowingness. So Natural Mystic, I think, explains what I am, which I believe many, many, many of us are. And I think really all of us could be. It's just a matter of perspective. But what I feel is my desire to know the mystical is very natural. It naturally falls into me. It naturally is a part of who I am. And when I say this, I mean the mystical is a huge part of why I'm here. A huge passion of mine is mysticism and the mystical realms. And what I do with a lot of my work is I want people to catch a glimpse of the mystical, to know the magic, the mystery, the beauty of the unseen realms, the occult, the mysterious things that cannot be seen with the physical eyes but can be felt deeply in the heart. So Natural Mystic is a beautiful way, I like to say of myself, as a contemporary mystic, meaning I've studied theology, I've studied religious thought, philosophy, mystery school teachings for most of my life. Since I was a child, I had a very deep relationship with God, and God for me was like a support system, was something outside of myself that could give me strength to carry myself through this life. So whatever you believe is what you believe, of course. So when I say God, you put in whatever word you need to. And I believe the mystical is my spiritual connection with my divinity and with divinity in general. So Natural Mystic, I would say I'm a very spiritual person, and it's a huge, huge part of who I am. It is a part of my life daily. Every day I am in contact with divinity, and it is by conscious choice. And it has not always been that way for me, but I would say since about 2017, it has been absolute daily part of my life, meaning every day I am doing something to connect to my divinity, my spirituality, meaning I'm either meditating or I'm practicing Reiki or I'm channeling, meaning I'm listening to my higher self in meditation, or I'm doing something to be in touch with the other realms. But I did begin my spiritual awakening when I was 17 years old. So this is quite a long journey I've been on. And I would say that's quite young to begin the spiritual awakening. I know a lot of people have only begun since in the last couple years or the last 10 years, or 2012 was a big spiritual awakening year. A lot of people started to really get in deep. And 2020 was also like a massive awakening year. But this is something that is a massive part of my life. And I'm so grateful to have such a deep, deep, deep connection to my self in its divine self. And I truly believe that we are souls having a human experience, and that our humanity is absolutely half of our experience. And we cannot negate our humanity. So we need to care for our bodies, but we need to care for our spirit, our soul. That is, for me, essential. So everything I do really fuses those things together. So as a natural mystic, I am eternally a student of the universe, always learning, absorbing, growing, expanding, and bringing that knowledge into everything I do. So I bring those concepts into my art, and I also bring that into my work. So we get to the third title that I've decided upon, which is energy guide. And I think that's the simplest way I can explain what I do for work with people. So energy guide. So I work with energy. I began training in working with energy when I was 17 years old with that spiritual awakening. I began to train in feeling it, seeing it, and working with it. So that was kind of my introduction. And at that time, I was simply reading books and studying on my own. I didn't know people that were doing this work. And then as I would go about my journey, I would meet people that would teach me or that would share with me ideas. And I began to pursue practices like yoga and Tibetan Buddhism and Hinduism and Qigong and, various iterations of schools of thought. I became passionate about astrology, particularly evolutionary astrology, which I still am an astrologer. I am an astrologer, and I use astrology also daily as a tool. I use it as a tool. It is a fun tool to align with that sort of shows you the cycles of time and the geometry of the moment and how I can align with the energetics of the moment. So astrology, as of late, human design and gene keys. If you're familiar with those modalities, they are so beautiful as well. Astrology, human design, and gene keys are three of my passions as of now, and I do use them in my work. So basically, I guide people. What do I guide them to? I believe one of my roles is as a guide. If you know about human design, I am a mental projector, which means I am energetically here to see and to process patterns and information about others. So I can deeply penetrate and see into another person, and then I can help guide them to their own incredible brilliance. And I can see things that perhaps they wouldn't be able to see from their perspective. I can deeply feel into another to feel what is limiting them or blocking them or getting in the way of their healing process or stepping into their power. So I guide people to themselves, basically. And I guess part of it, I would say I'm also a healer But healer in the sense that what I believe a healer to be is someone that guides or facilitates another to access their inner healing ability. So a healer, a really good healer, is someone who shows you how powerful your healing ability is. I'm also a Reiki master, studied deeply 4 years, all the levels of Reiki, and spent those 4 years dedicated to understanding how Reiki energy worked. I focused on healing myself, and I focused on meditating and healing and being, learning to be okay with myself. So basically, I've been on this healing, natural, mystic, energy, artistic, creative path forever. It's all these things that I've done sort of come together to support the being that I am here on earth to be. I also see myself as a kind of translator, a kind of someone that bridges both worlds together, the human, the physical, and the metaphysical, the quantum, the unseen, the energetics, and the physical, tangible embodiment of humanity. So that is something that I'm working on every day, and also something that I'm bringing into my work. So that's just a little bit about yours truly. And I think that's basically what I wanted to share with you for this very first episode. Next week, I will begin with a specific topic, but this week was really an introduction to what I believe in, who I am, where I'm coming from, and just to give you an idea of what to expect, what to look forward to. And every episode will have stories. I love storytelling. I love talking about archetypes and stories that can give us inspiration in how we can really align and live our best lives. So until next week, I am wishing you such a beautiful, beautiful experience. We are entering into the new moon in Aquarius, 21st and 22nd, first new moon of the year, which is also the beginning of Aquarius season, which is also the human design new year, which is also the Chinese new year. So this is a powerful new beginning. This weekend is a massive new beginning. So let us plant seeds of desire about how we want to create our brilliant unknown future. The future is now. So how do we want to create it? With so much love and respect, wishing you a beautiful week. Beijinhos from Madeira.
Ready for your mystery. Reveal yourself to me. Ready for your mystery. I will